Substance episode, take one. Welcome back to horror puppets ballads, in which there are no puppets or ballads yet. Still in my infancy, still just feeling my way around this world. Today's movie, though, that I finally watched, and I will be clear here, it was my second attempt because the first time I barely got through an hour and I was like, but I'm talking about The Substance. Now, first of all, I have to say the performances were off the charts in this film. Demi Moore, I see why she got nominated. Just brilliance top to bottom. Demi Moore's always been so good. If you've watched her films over the years, she brings it every time. Demi Moore is a goddess. She's amazing. Dennis Quaid. Oh my gosh, Dennis Quaid was awesome, and he encapsulated, I think, what I don't know, in my view, what they were trying to say about the industry and producers, and that he captured it perfectly, even down to the shrimp eating scene. I watched it with subtitles, and I'd never seen the word squelching typed out so much on a screen. It's insane. And then Margaret, she was great. I didn't even know who she was, but she did a really, really fantastic job playing the young version. But see, sometimes I watch something and like the performances are great, but then I find all these things in the film, so it's like I don't want to bash it. And I'm not saying I didn't like it. I mean, I'm gonna just jump ahead. That the blood fire hose, the painting of everything red and turning everything blood red, that was great. The whole last like 20 minutes was fun, and that's like we go to see body horror and horror movies like that for that reason. It was just at the end where the hallways are dripping blood, and it was just like. And I love the symbolism at the end when her face crawls to her star and she's like, and then they clean it, and it was like washing her completely away. Like they will throw you away and toss you away, and nobody will remember you. They're just going to be a star on a sidewalk in Hollywood, once they moved on. But for me, I thought one of two things. The obvious thing for me was the aging thing, because we have to understand we're going to get old and we're going to slow down. We're going to get gray. We're not going to be young and sexy. And then there's a different kind of sex appeal to someone as they age. But, I get it, especially in the Hollywood realm. Like they're always wanting the young new stars. You get cast aside for the newer hot model. We trade you in and everything like that. That's why Dennis Quaid was so perfect in terms of encapsulating that Hollywood producer of, okay, my ratings, it's all about his ratings, his numbers, his shareholders, which were funny. He finally introduces the shareholders and they're just a bunch of mindless puppeting twits. They're like all these older rich men in suits, and they don't say a thing. They're not like, hey, they're just like, it's like the mindless, just, I have the money and I paid for this, so dance, entertain me. And once you've done it for a while, then I want the new one to entertain me. And it was, so for me, it was like, okay, the whole Hollywood thing where, you cast out the old, you kick them out, and that's why you have these things, and I thought, okay, this is where I kind of go off the rails a little bit, because it's like, do I look at it as terms of what these aging actors or actresses have to do to stay relevant in terms of Botox and surgeries and how it can end up causing all these problems and struggles and everything? Or was it, in my conspiracy theory mind, the adrenochrome side of things? Because here's this thing, it's backdoored as far as how you get it, the substance. And there's a number and you don't do names, and I need this, and you go to this back alley somewhere where it's so interesting, the symbolism, how the door only opens part way and she has to crawl underneath like she's going through a tunnel, and she's going this dirty tunnel to try to find where she's going to get her substance that's going to create a youthful, energized look. And you have to keep using it, because if you stop using adrenochrome, if you stop using some of these things, you will then just basically, you will fall apart. And in using it, basically it splits you into someone new. And that's your soul, if you will, splitting into, because now you're doing something so horrific and changing who you are and not being satisfied with what you are, that you will do anything to become something else. And that's where I get the adrenochrome thing from, because if you know anything about that, what it is, how they have to get it, and the conspiracies and dangers of, especially in that industry, using it to stay relevant, to stay youthful. And then again, the body side. But the thing is, and then the other part of it was, these girls are like naked the whole time. Now 20-year-old me would have been like, but right now it's like, gosh dang it. I mean, you wouldn't think maybe put a towel over someone, cover them up. I mean, at least the younger version made a room to put the older one in after a while, but at some point it's like, it's a little much. I mean, I stay here and I take care of my mom, so it's like, I'm watching them like, please don't come in, please don't come in. And you know, these are beautiful women with beautiful bodies, and it's great that they're so comfortable, but at some point it's like, do we have to? But the visually was great. The splitting in two, the concept of it. But even then, I thought, okay, as crazy and wild as you might get is wanting to save your career, would you really go find a box of green goop to inject into yourself and then just know how to place IVs and how to feed to the other person and how to get spinal fluid out of the back and all this stuff? It was like, but I shouldn't do that because it's entertainment and it's fun. And I thought, looked at more of the symbolism of, again, you're selling your soul, and that is what's rotting you from the inside out. And that's why the younger ones like wanting to do anything to stay that and not give it back up, which is then corrupting who you are, the soul of your matrix, the original one of who you are, which then tears her apart. And then she's like, I can't do this. I'd rather be me, but never mind, because I'm not happy. So I don't want to be decrepit and old. So yes, let's bring her back. Bring her back. And so there's all these different ways I was looking at it. And I should have just watched and said, this is a pretty cool movie with a lot of good performances and some great body horror there at the end. The creature effects were awesome. They really were. The face in the back and her, that was really cool. The exploding her at the end, the moving to the star again, full circle of, you know, even in a dying breath, we clinging to that, wanting to be loved, wanting to be wanted, wanting to be known. I mean, that was her soul, is needing to be loved and wanted by the masses, which again is another dangerous thing to do. And it's another, you know, their side story to be like, hey, you got to be careful, comfortable with who you are, no matter who that is. And you can't, don't sacrifice, don't sell your soul, because that soul will rot up so quick and become a monster and just explode within you. And once that happens, there's no going back. But so with all those thoughts that went through me, especially the adrenochrome thing, again, those tunnels, that walking down that, had to crouch and go through that tunnel, I was like, holy cow, might as well just have a sign at the insane pizza gate. I was like, oh my gosh. But again, that's a whole other side of me. But I enjoyed it. I got through it. It's probably about 30 minutes longer than it needed to be, in my opinion. But I see where all the accolades for the performances. Demi, just so good. I mean, that woman, Dennis Quaid, just spectacular. Margaret, just really good. And I'm glad it got nominations. The Oscars recognized it, because it's good for the genre. It's good for horror. It's good for everything. But I don't know. I liked it, but it got me thinking about a lot of things. And there's so many different ways I could take that symbolism. And I didn't read any interviews. I don't know what the director, the filmmaker, or the writer, what they were trying to say that they were trying to say. But that's kind of where I took it, is be careful. Do not sell your soul. So for you guys out there, don't sell your soul, because then you're going to become some monstrosity that you can't come back from. So think about that. You're going to become like this little creature bunny back here. See the scar? Just saying. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble. It's one of my longest ones. Oops. Okay, goodbye.